time, I'm going to keep an eye on the YouTube chat as well, because last week we had, well, not 5 comments, but people were actually watching and putting comments on the
it's
YouTube
interesting, wasn't it?
stream.
People following along.
And we had a dislike, which was good. So that was really helpful. Helpful to the cause. Anyway,
okay, right. Hello and welcome to episode 178 of Heroes of Handheld, which is the internet's premium podcast dedicated to all things handheld gaming, whether that be your PS Vita, your Nintendo 3DS, 2DS, 2DS XL, Nintendo XL, 3DS Lite, DS Extra Plus, ribbed for your pleasure, or many, many more. We've got also talk about the Switch coming up. We're going to be talking probably about mobile games as well. My name is Chris, and I'm joined by the man with which I reckon if he didn't exist, I would never have heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise. It's Colin Byrne.
Well, it's not a surprise because it's not a tale the Jedis would tell.
You bloody love prequel memes, don't you? You're so into it.
It's treason then. I'm trying to think of like phrases that make sense, but I'm struggling here. Oh, I know one. There's one. Oh, there you go.
When prequel memes was when on April Fool's Day, when prequel memes were everywhere, at the same time, the movie channel that we had the subscription to were doing a Star Wars marathon, and I tuned in, and it was halfway through the Phantom Menace, and it was just so good. Hearing all your favorites being said, when young Anakin goes, "Now that's pod racing."
There's always a bigger fish. And like that bit at the beginning,
so good.
Oh, the beginning of Phantom Menace, where like they're in the Trade Federation ship, and Obi-Wan Kenobi turns to Qui-Gon Jinn and says, "Like, well, you're right about one thing, Master. The negotiations were short." And there's like edit it on YouTube where like they just edit it where Obi-Wan says that, they freeze on his face smiling, and they just like keep going to Qui-Gon Jinn's face and looking really pissed off. Like, so good. Honestly, if you didn't know prequel, we're not gonna go into too much detail. Well, we might drop in some quotes throughout the whole episode because I'm in the prequel meme spirit. But for those of you who don't have a clue what we're talking about, go on Reddit, sign up to Reddit. If you're not on Reddit, why not? And just search prequel memes, and then you will bask in the glory. It's one of the greatest internet inventions. It's why the internet is just so great and why Reddit is so great. It's just so good. And that's all I'll say about that. But right. So, hi, I'm Colin. I am one of the hosts for the podcast. I don't know where we got to. Had you said what we're doing? Have we started? What day is it?
Yeah, we have started.
Oh, have we now? What have you said so far? You've introduced yourself. I'm Colin. I'm wearing a Stitch t-shirt. Look at my t-shirt, Chris.
That's cool. Is that from Disney?
Yeah, isn't it just like the bollocks? The dogs. Do you like Lilo and Stitch? Are you a fan of Lilo and Stitch?
I've not seen the film. I watched the cartoon a lot when I was a kid.
Dead to me. How can you not see Lilo and Stitch? It's such a great film. It's so good. It'll get you right in the feels. Great music. It's a sad and happy way. Lilo and Stitch.
Well, I mean, Alola means family, which means no one gets left behind.
Ohana. Do you say aloha means family? You idiot. You dick. Ohana means family. No one gets left behind. Or forgotten.
Oh.
Really cute. There's actually a picture of me in Disney World hugging a massitive...
You love Stitch, don't you?
They have Stitch cuddly toys in every single shop in Disney. I think I heard that it makes well, I can't remember the exact figure, but it makes millions of dollars in revenue for Disney every year, just the plushes and the big cuddly toys. So they're in every single shop. And I found this massive one, which was like, about the size of a dog, like a big, say a Labrador or something, that sort of size. I picked it up and I gave it a big hug, and it was so soft, and it was just the best. But I'll tell you what, another good cuddly toy in Disney is Lotso, from Toy Story 3.
Oh, yeah, Lotso is very sweet.
He smells of strawberries, and he may have been evil, but he was evil because he was unloved, and he felt, like the children didn't love him anymore. So he had his reasons, We can sort of sympathise with him, He had the right idea. But then it was a bit of a sad ending for him because he ended up on the front of a lorry, didn't he? It wasn't the best ending.
I don't think he did have the right idea, by the way, because he hated children and wanted all the toys to be pulled apart. I know you thought I wasn't listening, but I was listening.
Didn't he didn't he try and push the toys into like an incinerator or something? Or was that later on?
He traps them, doesn't he? And then he's like, "See you later, cowboy. Where's your kid now when you need him?"
So I need to watch. I'm in the mood for Toy Story. I would love to watch them 1, 2, 3 back to back. They are just so good. But the ultimate question,
I watched Toy Story 3 a couple of weeks ago,
right?
and like, I find the end. I cry a lot at the end of Toy Story 3, and I was watching it with Emma, and we were kind of talking about Toy Story 4 whilst watching it, and she mentioned this bloody fan fiction someone's written online where there's an old guy dying in a hospital bed. Old guy dying in a hospital bed, and his grandchild comes along and gives him Woody, and he pulls the string, and Woody says, he loves him so much because he loves Andy so much even when he's old.
So the old guy's Andy then?
Guy's Andy, and his grandchild brings him Woody as he's dying.
Oh my God. Can you imagine that was the ending of Toy Story 4? Like if you were following Andy's children. Oh God. Oh my. That would...
He pulls his string and he says, "You've got a friend in me."
So he pulls his string and he goes, "So play nice." To bring this around to a more positive, that's actually quite a good idea for because in Toy Story 4, there's going to be something that's going to make you sad, make you cry. Every single Toy Story film's had it. Obviously, the third one had the big ending. Is it too soon to spoil Toy Story 3? Maybe.
No, it's fine. It's been out for 7 years.
The ending was just such a great, perfect ending. And Toy Story 2, who can forget the song that Jessie sings? Halfway through that film. I can't listen to that song anymore without welling up. That is such a heartbreaking song. That Toy Story 1, what was the sad bit in there? There must be the sad part in there somewhere. Or maybe when Buzz gets knocked out the window. That was quite sad, wasn't it?
Yeah, or when all the toys gang up on Woody is pretty sad as well.
Yeah, because, he's just misunderstood. He just wanted to be loved, But the best quote from that film is when they're looking out the window at... is it Spike? What's his name? That's the dog.
Yeah, it is Spike.
Sid.
Sid. Yeah.
And they're looking out the window. Buzz Lightyear. They're trying to show Buzz, who Sid is and what's going on. And he goes, "That's Sid." And he looks and he sees the dog and he goes, "Oh, he's a hairy fella." No, that's Spike. That is Sid. What? That happy child? That ain't no happy child. He touches toys for fun. So good.
You love that hairy fella, don't you?
I do. I have a hairy fella. That makes no sense. Right, talking about TV and films and things, I just want to quickly mention before we get on to video game talk, because I'm sure we've got things to say about video games. I have actually started watching a TV show on Netflix, and I wanted to talk about it here because I feel our audience and maybe Chris, it sort of is in the demographic of gamers and
what is it?
Things. I've been watching a show called Rick and Morty. You might know about this TV show. Quite big with the online community about a crazy scientist and his grandson who go on epic adventures across space and time. It's an animated series. The first 2 series are now on Netflix, and I've now got Netflix again. So I've binged watched the whole first season. I watched it one episode after the other because it's only about 20 minutes long. And I have to say, Rick and Morty is an absolutely fantastic TV show. It's funny, it's quite dark, and it also raises quite interesting questions about life, the universe, and things like that, about science and time travel and things. So it's a very intelligent show, but it's also very funny. I have to say, the animated shows on Netflix at the moment, there's so many good ones. Like one of my favorite shows of all time is BoJack Horseman, which is Netflix exclusive. So I'm watching Rick and Morty and season 3 of BoJack. I'm finally getting around to watching those episodes for season 3. After the episode, just great content on Netflix at the moment in terms of animation. I do like adult, I'm not gonna say adult cartoons because that sounds a bit dodgy, but animated shows that are aimed at a more mature audience. Have you seen any of Rick and Morty? Do you know what that's about?
I've watched the pilot episode of Rick and Morty, and I'm sorry, Colin, I found it really bad. I didn't like it at all. But I don't know if it gets better from the pilot because Go on. Well, I found that the pilot had some funny bits, but I just got really annoyed with the way the granddad speaks and how he's like always burping and throws up and stuff. It's just so like it's just so annoying. I just found that really like, oh, come on.
You need to go past the pilot. You're not the first person to say that. It gets better, and I did like the pilot, but no, I'd say try. I mean, they're only 20 minutes a pop, so I mean, I'd say try the first proper episode in the series because it does get better. It is it's just it seems like the sort of thing that you would be well into as well. I don't know why, but I thought that'd be a sort of show that you'd like.
Yeah, no, I get why you'd recommend it to me. Just not my jam, but I will try. I'll try at some point. The best animated show on Netflix is Archer. Archer, if you've never watched it, it's this spy drama set in a kind of ambiguous time period, and it is so funny. I love it, but I gather from Colin's reaction that you're maybe not a fan.
No, I did like it for a while. I watched a couple of seasons of it. I just got a bit bored of it. No, it just got a bit samey. I found it was funny, the ones I watched, but I think it doesn't like series 4 or season 3 or 4 go really weird where they're like in Miami.
Yeah, they start off as a private spy firm called ISIS. Then a little while later, they get recruited by the CIA, obviously because ISIS isn't a name you want in a TV comedy anymore. Then they get a load of cocaine, and it's called, I think it's called Archer Vice or something.
Yeah,
and they become cocaine dealers. That series is Marmite. A lot of people don't like it. I find it so funny, and I think that the characters are so good, and it's such a nice mix of stories. And Archer is such a dickhead, but he's so good at his job, and I think that's what I really like. But should we do video games? Do you want to do some video game stuff?
Just quick, is Archer still on Netflix?
Yeah, I don't think the most recent series is, but I think every other series is. I assume it is.
I might give it another go. I did like it back in the day. I just got bored of it, but yeah, I'll get back into that. Right, okay. Let's talk about video games. So, did you have anything you wanted to talk about before we get into the main bulk of news? I can't remember.
Oh yes. Well, on a video game tangential topic.
Yeah.
I've made to do with mobile gaming. I've made a new purchase.
Okay.
Which I'm keen to get recommendations for, because over the weekend I got rid of my Fitbit and bought an Apple Watch. And
I did not see that coming. Whoa.
And I would love if people have got. I mean, I don't really think of it as a gaming system at all, but I know there are some people who do play games on there, ones that are focused around using the workout app kind of more interestingly. So if anyone's got any recommendations, I would be happy to hear them. So far, as a mini tech review, I really like it. I couldn't go back to something simpler now, because I liked the Fitbit for sports, but I found it wasn't very. I mean, it's not designed to be a smartwatch anyway.
Isn't it just there's just lights on it, isn't there, and a screen for the time?
There are different ones. The thing is, it does sync with your phone, and there's some connection, but not really much of use. But the Apple Watch is so good, and if you've got an iPhone, it's just so seamless to set up.
Yeah,
I was really surprised how simple it is, and also the reviews I've read were like, it's really good, but the battery's bad. But so far, I found the battery. I mean, I've had it on all day today, and I've got 70% battery left. So that, for me, I thought that was going to be a real worry, but I'm really enjoying it. It's really sleek. It's really simple to use. The apps that it's got are really good. The fitness tracking is really good. And it means that, Colin, I can go for a run without taking my phone, which is the best thing, because taking your phone on a run is really annoying.
Yeah, I agree with
that. So I mean, it's expensive, obviously. It's much more than a Fitbit is, but it's definitely worth a look in if you're keen.
The big question with your Apple Watch is, have you downloaded any funny or interesting clock faces?
Not yet. I've got the Mickey and Minnie ones, which Emma's obsessed with, which are the ones where you've got Mickey and Minnie telling you the time, and if you press a button, they do. It's 8:35. I don't know if you can hear that, but Mickey tells you the time.
Yeah, my girlfriend's sister's got a Apple Watch actually. She's got that one. She has Minnie Mouse. I find it a bit creepy. I like Disney, but a bit creepy. The because can't you set it to automatically tell you the time when it gets to like a certain point, or do you have to
no, I think you have to tap it for it to tell you the time.
Bad then, but
as far as I know, anyway.
Yeah, I do really want an Apple Watch actually, so I'm not surprised here it's good. I mean, I assumed it would be, but I think it's more for the fitness people, isn't it, rather than just having something to tell the time. It's a fitness companion.
And I like that it syncs with pay as well. So you can for example, on a Saturday, I always go running at the same park because there's a park run there, which is like an organised event, and you can just take it with you. You can pay for the bus with it, and then you can sync your thing, listen to music on it, and come home. You don't need to have your phone or all that extra weight around.
That's pretty good. So
it's so good.
Do you have the Bluetooth headphones then?
Yep, got a little pair of Bluetooth headphones. I bought some cheap ones off Amazon. Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
That's really great. I mean, that's actually a massive plus, the fact you don't have to carry your phone with you to be able to do that. That's actually huge.
Yeah, it really is.
In my opinion. That's great. Well, I didn't expect you to say that. I was thinking that Chris had bought a Switch, but, one day maybe he'll get a Nintendo Switch. But I'm sure the Apple Watch is like a good alternative. Anyway, great. I'm glad you're enjoying that. But I also had a purchase this week. I actually bought a game. Can you believe it? I actually purchased a bloody game. This hasn't happened in years. And it wasn't on sale or anything. I just bought it. So I'm going to show the camera here what I've purchased.
Of course it's Mass Effect Andromeda.
Oh shit! But you'll probably tell that I've not taken the plastic off yet, so I've not actually played it yet. I've got it on Saturday, and I used my £17 worth of Nectar points to get a bit of a discount. So I got it for about 25 quid, which I thought was a bargain for the amount of hours I'm probably going to get out of this thing. Can't wait to play it. I've heard the reviews haven't been, they've been all right. They've not been amazing, but yeah, I'm still going to be giving it a go because I've got to get into the. I just want to have sex with aliens, basically. I'm not going to lie.
Absolutely, you just want to pork your way across the galaxy.
It's basically it, and there's a female Turian, so you know what I'm saying. Do this right, so I'm gonna hopefully I'll have something to talk about in terms of Mass Effect Andromeda next week, so I want to hopefully get the plastic off and start playing it a little bit, even if it's just for a couple of minutes. But yeah, really looking forward to playing that, and can't wait to see if it is gonna suck me in as much as the original trilogy did. So really looking forward to that. And actually, last thing before we move on to proper news is that I didn't realize, this sort of completely went over my head, that there's going to be a new Sims game coming to iOS and Android. And I know, hey, I loved The Sims back in the day. Sims 1 was amazing. I loved it. It's weird because lately, like all these gaming Facebook pages that I like, so I think it's Unilad Gaming and crap like that, they've been posting a lot of videos of like, everyone used to do this in The Sims, and it was like compilations of killing Sims. I didn't do that. I actually played it properly. I actually tried to make their lives good. But it turns out a lot of people played The Sims 1 just to kill them. Like they'd lock them in rooms, they would take the doors away, put them in swimming pools, and take away the ladders to get out. Well, I don't get it. Why do you want to do that? That's just no fun there. Though actually, in one instance when I was playing The Sims, I did accidentally burn down the Mortimer's house because the guy cooked something and killed all of them. And it was great because the daughter died, so her urn was upstairs, and the family kept wanting to go up and mourn her. And I kept trying to make them happy again, but then I had to clean up the mess, the ashes from the fire. But they would refuse to clean it because they were so sad, and I couldn't make them sad because they kept mourning their daughter. So it was sort of an endless cycle of pain. But I did like The Sims 1; it was my jam. Sims 2 and Sims 3 Sims 4 didn't really care about. Anyway, Sims. So for anyone who knows big games on iOS and Android, you all know that there is already a Sims game on there called Sims Free Play, which I actually did play for a bit when I first got my iPad a couple of years ago. Very fun. Just like a Sims 1, Sims 2 experience, really, where you take control of a sim, you get a job, you have a house, you can explore other areas. You could pay to make things happen quicker. So if you wanted to build anything or create any new sections in your town, it would take like 24 hours or 48 hours to do, but you could obviously pay for it to go quicker. Anyway, the reason I'm saying this is because this new Sims game is actually going to take its I say inspiration, but it's going to be more like the Sims 3 and Sims 4. And I've not actually played either of those games. I don't know, Chris, you're quite quiet. Did you play the Sims? What's your feelings on those?
Not really. I played one on the mobile a little bit. It's never really been my jam, but I would like to try it if it was well supported. I kind of feel like most of my Sims came from friends being like, "Oh, lol, we'll kill them all." But like it takes so long to get to that point that for me it was never really on the radar.
You have to really be, properly into it to really get the most out of The Sims, because you have to build up your house, get a good career, and get loads of money. Hashtag Rosebud. Do you get that reference?
Yeah, that's a cheat, isn't it?
Yeah, I used to use that all the time. So this new game is going to be called, I think it's just called The Sims Mobile. It's already had a soft launch on Android, and this is just in Brazil. We haven't got a Western release date yet, but the Brazilians can get it on Android. It's going to be like a mode from The Sims 4, which is called Legacy Challenge. The goal of the game is to build a family and support them through many generations, and you'll earn trophies for doing so. And the trophies offer special perks that help your Sims achieve their life goals. There is some videos I found for it, but in terms of any release dates over here, there's nothing really. There's not even a release window. All we've got is that The Sims Mobile is going to be launching very soon. And when it comes out, I'd like to play it, but I'm not sure whether it'll be on iPhone. It'll probably just be iPad, because they're quite big games, aren't they? But I'll definitely keep an eye out for that, because, as I said, big fan of The Sims. Haven't played anything past The Sims 2, so the whole idea of Sims 4 Legacy challenge means nothing to me. But I'll be definitely checking that out, and hopefully we'll get some more information soon. Because it's already had the soft launch in Brazil, we should get some more information releasing very soon. Right, so that's all my pre-show news done. Chris, come on. What have you got for me? What have you got for me?
So should we do Switch?
Yes, let's do some Switch. Actually, before we do Switch, tell me about your Mario Kart Lunch.
Yeah, well, I hadn't played Mario Kart before, and then my friend brought his Switch into lunch today, so we had a little play of it in the park. I was very interested in it because I hadn't played a game on it where you use the controller on its side, use the Joy-Con on its side, and I love Mario Kart 8. I know it really well, so it was interesting to me to give it a try. I don't really know what to say apart from it was really good. The thing with Switch is, it's like, for me, it's too expensive to purchase, but I don't know anyone who's got one and has regretted buying it, which I think is a really good sign for the system. I still think it is for me, it is too expensive. But I know that our listeners and friends have bought Switches and are just satisfied with. They know what they're getting going in. There's nothing kind of unexpected there, and it's serving them really well. And I was really surprised with how smooth everything ran. It felt like, with the operating system, it felt kind of like an Android tablet, but with Nintendo software on it. Right. The actual controllers were really good to use. Mario Kart is obviously always great. I came first, no bragging. Isabel and City Tripper. But yeah, it was really good. And my flatmate is really, really on the verge of buying one. So hopefully I'll be able to have a bit more playtime over the next coming weeks.
Yeah, I know your flatmate. I've seen a few Snapchats of him looking up boxes for Nintendo Switches and saying, "Shall I do it?"
So I tell you what, if you're listening at home and you've got a Switch, tweet at Radio Wong and tell him Handheld Podcast sent you. Buy a Nintendo Switch at Radio Wong. Rob is. I mean, because that'll push him over the edge if strangers do it.
Yeah, definitely. I have to say, I'm surprised. I was expecting you to say you played it and you loved it and it's made you want to Switch more, but you still seem a bit
it was as good as I thought it was going to be, but it's still so bloody expensive.
Yeah, Yeah, I'm holding out for maybe Black Friday or Christmas time. We get a bit of a discount. Hopefully, I would hope at some point in the near future we'll get a discount.
Surely at Christmas there'll be some sort of discount bundle.
I mean, it's selling so well at the moment. Maybe Nintendo think they don't need to. It's selling like bloody hotcakes, isn't it? And people, as you say, reviews were good for it, and it's exactly the same. It's like a big love-in. It's so good to have all this positivity about a release of a console. I mean, with the PS4 and Xbox One, as I said last week, we had some negative things for each of them, but the Switch is just so much love from everyone. Everyone just loves it, and it's just so nice to see. I like it when people are happy. It's so nice to have positivity in the gaming industry. But I think you did you say you used the Joy-Con to control your
I
car?
did, yeah. I used the Joy-Con on its side.
Right. Did it work? Did it play well on that? Or was it responsive, or was there issues? I know.
It was. I mean, it was totally responsive. It's quite. It's not an ideal setup because it's in one hand vertically is fine, but when you turn it on its side, it is a little cramped if you've got big hands. But you can still hit all the buttons fine. And what they've done is they've actually been really clever, because on the Joy-Con, if you're holding it on its side for Mario Kart, the side buttons that would be where your index fingers are if it was vertical don't actually do anything. So that means you can grip the controller firmly, pressing those buttons down, and you're not like accidentally doing anything.
That's good. That's a good feature there. Oh,
Yeah,
I like
it's a really good idea, isn't it? It's so clever.
Yeah. Well, what do you know? Good. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed that, and it's unsurprisingly it's good. But yeah, price is still a big thing for me. So I mean, I keep having a look at the price, but it's just still the same as it was. I mean, it's only just been 2 months since it came out. Really, it feels like it's been out for bloody ages. It only came out in March. Crazy. And we've got more games to come, which is very exciting. So what else have we got to talk about in the world of Nintendo Switch? We have a few bits of news here. Let's start with the eShop. This is something that people seem happy about, but I'm not too sure why. So, Nintendo are a bit slow on making their online store easy to use. I mean, this has been a long-running thing of Nintendo. They're always the last to implement things to make the process of buying content on their store easy and simple for their customers. So, something that they didn't have at the launch of the Switch is the ability to save your credit card information. So every time you made a purchase, you had to keep logging it in every time. So this has now been updated, and this has been reported by Engadget. So it's been fixed on the eShop, and that's possible. Next time you use the store to buy something, you'll see a save check mark that will carry over your payment method for future purchases. So there you go. So that's good to know. I mean, I wouldn't have thought this was a big thing. I mean, there's not really that much to buy on the store at the moment, to be honest with you. So has this really been a big issue for people? Like, I guess if people are buying everything digitally rather than buying the actual physical cartridges, then it would make sense. That's why people would be annoyed. But yeah, I mean, this is the sort of thing that you'd expect to be something to be. You'd expect. Be able to do it from launch. Really, it's just something that you don't even think about now. You don't even think about having to implement things like this. It's just like a standard way of making it easier for you to make purchases. But I mean, on the other side of this, like by having companies store your card details, it can lead to issues. So if there was to be a massive hack of the Nintendo servers, then there might be a bit of an issue. So, I mean, PlayStation and Microsoft have both had this in the past, and people's card details have been stolen. So, saying how this is a positive thing, I'm going to sort of go back on myself and say I probably wouldn't want them to have my card details. I'd be more than happy to enter it, every single time, just because I don't want hackers to steal my card details. Thoughts, Chris?
Well, I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? Because the chances are they're not going to get hacked, but also if they are, you're kind of up the creek. It's a difficult balance to strike. I mean, it's surprising the feature wasn't in there from the start, really.
Yeah.
But I guess with Nintendo, they knew they wanted the Switch and the console and the games to come out first, and the other stuff to come out later.
Yeah, I guess so. They just wanted to get the Switch out to market. That's all they wanted. So it's good that it's now there. So it makes life a lot easier for everyone. Right. So next bit of news I want to talk about, which I'm going to talk to you about as soon as my computer.
Can I just say what I really liked about that story, Colin?
Yeah.
Was how you started off on one side of it and then came down on another side.
I'm completely impartial, Chris.
It was just really interesting the way you sort of tried spinning. It's such a neat trick.
Yippee! Anyway, right. So next bit of news for the Nintendo Switch is a game that's now available on the eShop called NBA Playgrounds, which is an arcade-style basketball game. It's really quite interesting. I watched a video of this, and it looks a lot of fun, like a really simple basketball game with over-the-top animated basketball players. It's not only just coming to Switch, it's coming to PS4 and Xbox One, and also the PC as well. I believe it is out now, obviously, yeah, because it's on the store. It's an arcade-style game, and it's been compared to NBA Jam, which I have no idea how that plays, so I'm going to assume that's good. It's got stylized players, characters, and over-the-top gameplay. And there's loads of different game modes as well. There's a two-player offline co-op, and also a two-player online cooperative, four-player offline team matches, and solo matches. The Switch version of the game doesn't have online functionality at the moment, but the developer Saber Interactive has said the online play will be available for free when the game is updated in a few days' time. So that's good. And I just wanted to say that another game is available on the store, and it looks a lot of fun. It's about 16 quid if you're in the UK, 27 Australian dollars, or 20 US dollars if you did want to check it out. It's very colourful, looks a lot of fun, and I did like playing basketball games when I was younger. So if I had a Switch, I'm sure this is something I would check out. Seems like the perfect game to play if you've got it in the tablet mode and you're just laying in bed or you're on the sofa or whatever. Seems like a really fun pick up and play style game. As long as you're not playing online, because if you pick it up and then put it down halfway through a game, your teammates aren't going to be happy with you. But if you're playing it on solo mode, it'll be perfect. So yeah, just wanted to quickly mention that. And the last bit of Switch news I've got before we move on to all the other things in our catalogue of handheld gaming devices is the fact that Nvidia have made an absolute killing thanks to the Nintendo Switch. And the reason for that is because inside the Nintendo Switch there is a Nvidia, I'm going to say this wrong, Tegra X1 graphics processor, which is used in the Switch. And now the Nvidia, how do you say it? Is it Nvidia? Nvidia? Nvidia.
I think it's Nvidia.
Yeah, I think it is Nvidia. They made a gaming tablet, didn't they? A few years ago, we mentioned this. I'm sure there was.
Is it the Shield?
That's it, the Shield. Whatever happened to that? You know, it's got talent. Nvidia Shield. I remember. Did we have like a few listeners like contact us about this and give us like little reviews on it? I swear, was that the Nvidia Shield? Am I thinking of like another?
It was. You're 100% right. It was like a little gaming tablet thing.
Interesting. Anyway, because of the good sales of Nintendo Switch, Nvidia are projected to add between $300 to $400 million dollars in revenue for the fiscal year 2018, which began on January the 30th. And that translates to about a 3 to 4% growth in annual revenue for the company. But obviously that figure is all based on how many console Nintendo manufactures. But yeah, it's looking good. I think Nintendo have said they're aiming to increase production of the Nintendo Switch actually going forward. So it was originally 8 million, but it's going to go up to 16 million units, which they need because it's really difficult to find a Nintendo Switch at the moment. Another bit of interesting information for you, if you're not down with your processing chips in your gaming consoles, is that the X1 chip was used in Nvidia Shield systems, but it was slightly modified for the Switch. The last time that this piece of hardware was used in a console was with the PS3. All the new generation consoles, so Xbox One, PS4, and the Wii U, they've all used something called the AMD graphics processor. So slightly different to what the other companies are using, but it's good to see that Nvidia are going to make a profit. But it's more positive news. It's a company making a lot of money from the Switch. When will the good news end, Chris? Tell me, when will it end? It's just a sea.
Never.
Swimming in a sea of good news, I tell you. And really, it's just a beautiful thing. A beautiful thing. Right, so give me some Nintendo news, Chris. I'm yearning for some, not just Nintendo, but 3DS more specifically. Where are you? Give me some news. Please give me some news. Please, oh please, give me some news.
Colin.
Hi, there you are.
Would you like some news?
I would really love some news. Why are you not giving me any news? I'm yearning for 3DS news. Oh,
Colin.
I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, Colin, can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Let's talk about the 3DS then,
Chris,
very briefly.
You're breaking my heart.
Now?
If you're going to start talking now, then this will be where the fun begins. I'm still waiting. Still waiting.
Colin.
I'm here. I'm here. I've always been here, Chris. I'm always here for you.
Do you want me to do some 3DS news?
Yes, please.
So, really briefly, because it's barely anything. There is a new Fire Emblem game coming out at the end of next week. Fire Emblem Echoes. It's already out in Japan. It comes out in America and Europe on May the 19th. And Nintendo have confirmed that this will be the last Fire Emblem game for the mainline 3DS. That's according to Hitoshi Yamagami, who's kind of a big week involved. Not really a surprise, this one. There's one coming to Switch in autumn, so it's not really a surprise, but it's just nice that there's been, I think, either 2 or 3 different installments of Fire Emblem on 3DS, which is mad because I swear before that there hadn't been any on it for a long time. I don't remember one on DS doing well anyway. So this is hopefully this will be a real swan song from them. It's a remake, as you know, a kind of remaster, and it's called Shadows of Valentia, and it comes out at the end of next week. And there's a Pikmin game coming out for 3DS as well. It's called Hey Pikmin, and it's 2D. I really like Pikmin. I'm playing it a lot on my Switch at the moment, and I'm on my Wii U, sorry. And I'm really looking forward to playing this on 3DS. And if you are a fan of Pikmin, you can watch 10 minutes of footage thanks to the company Game Explain, who have put up a like a 10-minute play-by-play on YouTube you can watch. We'll embed it. Thanks very much to them for doing it. It looks exactly how you'd imagine a 2D Pikmin to look. You've got slightly less Pikmin on screen, perhaps following you than you might be used to, but and it looks less like you're going to be backtracking and more like you're going to be trying to get to the end of a level. Whereas the Pikmin, certainly on Wii U, features a lot of going back forward with different Pikmin, but there'll probably be an element of that as well, you would imagine. I'm really looking forward to this game. I think this will be a really big seller on 3DS. It looks really good. So you can watch 10 minutes of gameplay on heroesofhandheld.wordpress.com thanks to Game Explain. And that's actually all the 3DS news. So I will pass you back now to Colin Byrne.
Hold on. Wasn't Pikmin one of the first launch games for the PlayStation 4?
No.
Yes, it was.
It's a Nintendo franchise. No, it wasn't.
What was that game that was on PS4 then? That was similar to Pikmin.
Are you thinking of Knack?
Yeah, was it Knack? I'm going to have to Google this now. Was it Knack?
Pikmin is not on PS4, but you would probably think of Knack, which is that one where you play as the little robot.
Yeah, it's Knack.
The game that everyone hates.
Yeah, you didn't mind it though. Didn't you play it and you thought it was all right?
No, I played the first level and decided never to play it again.
Ah, brilliant. Okay, well, it's treason then. Right, so let's move on. So let's talk about something PlayStation Vita related. So I spoke about a game called Oceanhorn a couple of probably months ago now, which is a sea exploration game which came out on a variety of different platforms, but it's on its way to PlayStation Vita. We saw a video of it playing and running on the Vita. This was tweeted by FDT Entertainment a couple of months ago, but now they've revealed on Twitter that the PS Vita version of the game is coming out very soon. It's gone gold. It's finished. We just need a release date now. That's all we need from them. So if you don't know what it is, it's called Oceanhorn Monster of Uncharted Seas. It's an action RPG, and it's developed by Confox and Bros. I assume they probably want it to be called Confox and Brothers, and it's inspired by games such as The Legend of Zelda. Sorry, I'm dying here. It's inspired by The Legend of Zelda, Final Fantasy, and Seiken Densetsu, and it combines captivating story. Sorry, go on, Chris. What are you going to say?
Well, when you had your coughing fit, I didn't know if you were actually ill or if you were like, it looks a bit influenced by Legend of Zelda. As if to be like, it's a complete rip-off.
You'll never know. I'll let you be the judge. Anyway, it combines captivating storytelling, breathtaking 3D visuals, and exciting gameplay. That's what this article says anyway. And it's in one massive action-adventure experience. You set sail and embark on an epic journey. You explore islands of uncharted seas, and its worlds filled with dangers, puzzles, and secrets. So I love exploration games like this, where you're like a boat and it's like a piratey tale. It's just that the animation on this looks absolutely breathtaking, really. It's bright, it's colorful, and I can see where the Legend of Zelda inspiration comes from. It really looks nice. This is the sort of game that'll be perfect on the Vita, and I'm so glad it's coming out soon. I know I say it about a lot of games. I've still yet to play Counter Spy, but honestly, I would be tempted to buy this game. I'm not even joking. That's how good it looks. We'll put a trailer to this in the article for this week's podcast. Just having a quick look at the trailer now. It just looks so nice. And like, if it runs as smooth as it looks in this trailer, the trailer we're looking at is from Gamescom 2016, and you get some frame rate issues on the Vita when there's ports and things like that. But if they can get this game to play as well as it looks on this trailer, then it'll be absolutely fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to this, and I'm going to be keeping an eye out for a release date. So whilst I'm talking about the next thing, Chris, you're going to watch that trailer and you're going to give me your thoughts on it. Do it now. Do it now.
Hey, I will.
And just don't talk about sand. It gets everywhere. Anyway, another bit of information I want to talk about is, the only reason I picked this article is because the name of the game sounds quite funny. Hello Lady Superior Dynamis is announced for PlayStation Vita. Isn't that exciting? It's due out in Japan in 2017, and it is a new noble school adventure featuring characters designed by Hokuto Seiki and scenario by Wataru Hindu and Ju Shudu. It bundles together the 2014 release PC visual novel Hello Lady and the later 2014 released Hello Lady New Division in a single package, Chris. So
yes,
you get it all in one blimmin' place. Isn't that just magical? Isn't it magical? So looking at the pictures from this game, there's a lot of skirts, there's a lot of legs, there's some boobs. What else could you possibly want from a game called Hello Lady? So there you go. We're very excited for that. We haven't got a firm release date yet. We just know it's some point this year. So we'll keep an eye. We'll let you know as soon as we've got the deets on that. Right. So the last bit of news I want to talk about is something to do with sales figures, which I always like when it's positive for the PlayStation Vita. The game Romancing Saga 2 has sales topping 200,000. I think that's good. I'm sure that's good. It was released on Vita and on smartphones. The number was announced by Art Piazza representative director Shinaru Majima, who I think are the developer for the game, during a lecture at Unite 2017 Tokyo, a conference that targets Unity developers and students. He was in charge of the development of the game. The PS Vita version of the game is currently only available in Japanese. An English version is still planned for release as of December 2016. That's when it was last mentioned. And there's also a remastered version of Romancing Saga 3 that's in development for Vita as well. However, unlike the second one, it's based on the phone version. So there's so many different versions of this game. Let me just see if I can find a bit more information. I'm assuming it's going to be, all about love and, finding pigeons to make love to and things like that. So it's a role-playing game, and it was originally released in 1993, so it's a long-running series. There you go. It looks very pretty, and there's a boat in this one as well, so I'm going to love it. That's all my news for this week, Chris. So what we need to talk about now is the Sum-Sums that are to my right. Can you see these Sum-Sums?
Yes.
Can you see any new additions to my pile?
On the top.
Do you know who they are? Do you know who they are?
Is it Wally on the top?
Correct. Ding, 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 ding. That's one. But who's this?
You know Zootopia / Zootropolis?
Heard of it.
Do you want Nick and Judith to get together? Because I like to think that they got it on, but apparently that's weird.
No, they are together because at the end of the film, when they're in that police car and they're driving off, he says to her, "You know you love me," and she says back to him, "I do." So that's hinting that they are in a relationship, Chris.
Oh, they best bang. There's some really good art out there. If you want to watch the rabbit and the fox from Zootopia bang, you can get your fill online. Yeah.
That's my evening sorted, to be honest with you. That sounds hot. But I think Judy Hopps is the most attractive Disney animated character ever. That's just me. I think she's banging. She is
Even
Shit.
It's
the tail that does it. Oh,
I think there's something about the police officer uniform as well, isn't there? Oh boy.
she's so darn cute.
Yes. Arrest me, Judith. Yes.
Actually, what's your... Store them, Chris. Store them.
Take me in the back of your car, Judith. Yes. If you don't know what we're talking about, Zootropolis /
Look who's
Zootopia
come
is a
to join
game.
the party.
Oh yes, yes. Get your massive Judith Simpson.
Oh, it's so big and so floppy. I love it. Oh, it's so cute. Isn't that just the cutest? Look, he is.
Next time I come to stay at yours, I'll 100% put my dick in that.
I'm surprised you didn't last time you were here. I think we had it then.
Did you?
I think so.
What? I didn't. Oh, I hadn't seen the film then. To be fair.
Oh, it's so good. They need to make a sequel to it, or they need to make an animated series because there's so many directions they could go with it. They could make a spin-off series of that with them like solving crimes and things as police officers. That'd be great. I'd watch that. Definitely would. I hope there is.
Yeah, Disney haven't done a sequel in a while though, have they?
Well, Pixar have done loads, but Disney keep bringing out the new original films, don't they? And what they tend to do is when they make sequels, they either just make them straight to DVD rubbish ones, or just make it a TV series on the Disney Channel, which is a shame. Did you ever watch the Emperor's New Groove TV show?
Yeah, I did actually. Funny
Emperor's New School. That was really good. That I really liked that one. It had the same humor from the film. It only lasted like one season, which is sad. I really loved that.
The best one was the Jungle Book spin-off where they're all kids.
Oh yeah, I remember
that. Hang on, was it Jungle Book or was it Tarzan?
No, it was Jungle Book.
It was both, wasn't it? But Jungle Book was the main one.
Yeah.
With the yeah.
They also did the 101 Dalmatians spin-off, which I used to love. There's like a little animated show that followed 3 of the Dalmatians, and they went on like random adventures.
Yes, it did, didn't it? And they did a Hercules one from when he was at school as well.
Yeah, I think they did an Aladdin one as well, didn't they? I swear there was an Aladdin animated series. I have to Google this now. There was loads, but a lot of them didn't last that long, which is sad because the thing with the Disney TV shows, they're normally really well written and actually quite funny. Aladdin, let's have a look. Aladdin TV show. He was there. Yes, there was. There was an Aladdin TV show which lasted 1 year. 94 to 95 that lasted.
Well, I guess a lot of them were probably done just to plug the film, weren't they? So for a little bit to get people thinking about the film and buying it on VHS.
But no, they should definitely should do a Zootropolis TV show. I'll be all in for that. Anyway, I think that's it for this week. So we should sign off. Chris, can you do some housekeeping for me, please?
Yes, thank you for listening to episode 178. Why don't you tweet us at Handheld Podcast? Tweet my flatmate Rob at Radio Wong and tell him to buy a Switch and tell him Handheld Podcast sent you. You could like us on Facebook by searching there, subscribe on YouTube by searching Heroes of Handheld. Go to the website heroesofhandheld.wordpress.com where there's over 177 back episodes to dig your teeth into. There's an email address as well, heroesofhandheld@gmail.com. Send us a message. And thanks very much to the Schnauzer Radio Orchestra for their song music. Insert coin from the album Music for a 1950s Video Game.
That's it, son. Well done.
Yeah, it's and we'll be back next week, I suppose.
Suppose so. If we can be bothered to do this again. Well, what do you know? I'm running out of quotes here. Honestly, I ain't got many left. Yippee!
You're obsessed. You really need to chill out, Colin. Don't bother coming to me because I've got the high ground.
Hello there. Anyway, thank you for listening, everybody. Back next week, and don't forget to tweet at Enter Soundman with your favorite prequel memes quotes. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Truly, this is where the fun begins.